Good afternoon and welcome back to the islands of Cape Verde, more specifically the island of Sa Nicola. Previously you would have seen us exploring the tourist hub of Sa and then embarking on our 7-day cruise around the archipelago, visiting Boa Vista and the capital city Praia. Unfortunately, we were meant to be heading to the island of Fogo, with the highest point in all of Cape Verde and the only active volcano in the entire country. But due to some very strong winds and extremely high waves, we had to skip that island. But Variety had a trick up their sleeve, the plan B, and that is this place, Sa Nicola.
Over the next 4 days, we're actually going to be visiting the northwestern islands of Cape Verde, this being one of them. And you would not believe it, but they only have 13,000 people living on here. I just find that absolutely crazy. But we did have to get a short tender ride over to the town of Tarrafal, which is actually a very small fishing village. We have a little bit of time to wander around Tarrafal before we explore the rest of the island this afternoon.
This certainly isn't Santa Maria on the island of Sa. There is not another tourist in sight. We're currently walking along the black sand volcanic beach, and we're going to have a little look in the fishing village around the local life to see what's going on, if anything. This is quaint. If you wanted to disappear from the Western world, this would be the sort of place that you come to. Tarrafal.
This is the main part of town. You do actually have one ATM and it seems very vibrant. All the buildings are very colourful. It's the theme throughout Cape Verde that the houses and the shops are built and painted in beautiful colours. We have a Western Union bank here. We've got the butchers and I think that's a bakery.
And the local bus.
The local bus, and I don't think my Portuguese is going to get us very far.
And go to the Beira Brava this whole way. But between we have 2 or 3 photo stops. One to see the valley of the Beira Brava, the second one we can see the dragon trees.
Okay, so there wasn't much going on in the fishing village apart from a few seamen, and we don't need too many seamen in our life, do we? But we have just jumped into our minivan and we are starting our 4-hour tour around the island. This one here, the forgotten island of Cape Verde, and you can see straight away, wow, how different it is in the landscapes compared to Sa and Boa Vista, which are extremely dry. Look at this. It is so green, stunning green valleys going on for miles and miles. Apparently only 2,000 tourists visit this each year, and I don't know why. More people should be coming. Look at that. The Hawaii of Cape Verde.
Honestly, they do not call this the second most beautiful island in the archipelago for nothing. This is unreal.
And this right here is what makes this island so special. The dragon trees, they are endemic here, and this is the oldest one on the island. 400 years old, and they are like otherworldly. Look, we have a whole road just lined with dragon tree after dragon tree. Never seen anything like it.
Today's video is sponsored by Klook. Klook is an experiences booking platform with thousands of destinations around the world, and if you're traveling, you will need Klook. Klook is super easy to use. You can search by destination and filter to exactly what you are looking for. They also regularly offer discounts and promotional offers, so you can always find your perfect travel experience. We have used Klook on our previous trips. For example, when we were in Japan a few years ago, there are some amazing day trips and city attractions that can actually be booked in under a minute. Team Labs is an absolute must in Tokyo, and Klook gives you the option to book in advance with a discounted price. Over 400,000 people have booked this bestseller. Sign up for Klook today using the link below, and you can use our code DABBLE and travel
For 10% discount.
to book your trip today.
Dragon trees are so fascinating because they grow every 10 years, so they take ages to get to this size. There's like a little colony of spiders there. I don't know if you can see them, but they're absolutely massive, and it's actually so refreshing to have some fresh air. I'm no longer covered in sand and dust. Instead, we're getting engulfed in clouds, and we can see green finally.
And after driving through lush green valleys, we have made it to the capital of Sa Nicola, Riviera Brava. This was actually built in the center of the island, which makes a change compared to the other Cape Verdean islands because of the threat of pirates. On all the other islands, you'll find the capital being on the coastline, but here it's about 20 kilometers from the main port. And as you can see, it's quaint. This is the main town square. Extremely colourful, extremely vibrant, very Cape Verdean.
These streets really remind me of a European old town, only with the cobbled streets, but also with the fact that they are so narrow. Apparently they were built like this because it was made for pedestrians and horse and carts, and now of course we have cars, so it's a one-way street only.
The winds in Cape Verde, oh, no joke, it's actually a little chilly, but our final stop of the day is Carboneiro. This is known as one of the 7 natural wonders in the whole of Cape Verde, and it is essentially limestone that has eroded over the years because of the wind. It is very windy here, and the sand, and it's created this incredible Mars-like landscape.
I literally have never seen anything like it. It's otherworldly. We've got a little bit of sunset coming down here and just these crazy imposing rocks.
Who was it that actually made the list, the 7 natural wonders of Cape Verde? And what are the other 6? I have absolutely no idea. But Sa Nicola, I wouldn't say it's the most exciting island. There isn't loads going on, but it's worth coming just to enjoy the views. And it's been nice again to have a local show us around Nardi, but we are going to enjoy this sunset, taking the views. Look at this, otherworldly, blimmin' Mars. Before getting back on board this evening, and we will be heading to the Big Brother Island, Santa Antão. Do you know what would make this beautiful sunset, this natural wonder, not you, even better?
I think I know what you're going to say.
Cold beer. Thank you.
continuing our island hopping adventure. We are currently driving from one side of San Nicola to the other using a road that is a tourist attraction in itself. Behind me you will see a little cobbled road. This took 30 years for them to build by hand using stones one by one that they collected, and I think they used over 15 million of them.
And this right here is the thinnest bit of the road in between two valleys. The views, honestly, out of this world. Whoa,
My God,
that is just a sheer drop. This is oh my gosh, quite a drop. You are literally shaking hands with God up here amongst the clouds. I can't believe this is the same country as the islands of Sal, of Boa Vista, that are completely barren, that are completely deserted. Look at this, look at the views. The two valleys. Wow. I can see why they call it the most beautiful island in all of Cape Verde. It's Hawaii, it really is. It's the Hawaii of Cape Verde. I thought Sa Nicola was impressive. This is Sa Nicola on steroids, on the good blooming steroids.
They actually had to use dynamite to blow up the way for the mountain and to get the rocks and the stones, and unfortunately so many people died building this because this is the most dangerous part, and it's actually why they will not change this road, because it will be a disservice to the people.
They will never tarmac it.
The people that spent all that time and unfortunately lost their lives building it, they will never change it.
This island doesn't seem to have many people, but just incredible views all the way around. The valleys are so green with almost rice terrace like Southeast Asian landscapes. But we've now jumped back out of the minivan and we are walking to the giant statue in the distance of the Virgin Mary. We could call this the Christ the Redeemer of Cape Verde.
It's actually a really nice statue. It looks fairly new. I couldn't find any information on it, but you can see she's holding gold rosary beads and she has a gold crown on, and she's actually overlooking the capital city. Come and have a look at this. Riviera Grande, the capital city.
Look at this place. It just keeps getting better and better. We've actually spent the afternoon driving around the island, visiting the capital and some small fishing villages, but we have just made it to the greenest part of the whole of Cape Verde. This is the Paul Valley, and it's actually where we're going to be stopping to have some lunch in a traditional like fairy tale type restaurant.
It's giving Lord of the Rings vibes, but yeah, the restaurant, you can see it's built with the same stones that they used to build the road, and then the top of it is like a thatched roof made from sugar cane leaves, and it just looks so cute. Either Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter-esque.
Cheers.
Cheers! We've come into O'Croll's, which is actually I suppose you could say a local homemade, everything's fresh restaurant. We have a fruit juice with all of the fruits that are grown in their garden, and we also have some cheese and paprika, we have cheese and curry, we have an unknown vegetable that's like a cucumber, we have aubergine, courgette, and homemade bread. I really like the sound of this curried cheese, just very unique. You know, look how soft that bread is. Interesting. It's kind of a mix of like feta and turmeric. It does taste like a curry and cheese.
Now this place would be a meat eater's worst nightmare, but what they do with the vegetables that are freshly grown is incredibly impressive. So here we have cassava, we have courgette, and this is a a yam puree, so a little bit like potato really, like a mash. It's been made in the garden, in the valley. In front of me, it's actually the valley in Cape Verde that always has water, the only one supposedly, and I have no idea how to eat any of it. Ooh.
It's nice,
It is
eh?
like mash.
Yeah. And we also have feijoada, which you might remember from our Timor-Leste videos because it is a Portuguese dish. So beans, potato, there's a bit of meat in there, in a sauce. Everything's so healthy.
Yes? I will... Ah.
It's not like a normal coffee, for sure.
Yeah, because it's another...
Great restaurant. If you are in Santo Antão and you come to this valley, I would highly recommend it because it showcases all the wonders that they can grow and the fresh produce that they produce, even the coffee that they make further up in the valley. But this right here is the sugar cane flour, and if you don't know, the national drink of Cape Verde is grog, which is a sugar cane type spirit rum that is very strong. I tried it once in Sal and it wasn't a very good one, but we have now stopped off a little bit further down the valley at this place, Bef de Quinha, which is a distillery, and Santa Antão is the place that produces apparently the best grog in all of Cape Verde. Now I'm ready to try some. Are you ready to get your grog on?
I am. I'm ready. We have already tried it in Santa Maria in Sal.
I said this, it wasn't good.
Yeah, everyone said you're supposed to really like it, so I am very excited. And apparently there are more grog distilleries on this island than there are hospitals. So
we are about to rock out with our grog out.
So they put the sugar cane. It's
Thank
very
you.
strong now.
Thank you.
It smells very strong. This is 43%, yeah?
Yes.
Here we go. Cheers. 43% grog, the final product. Oh,
Later we
oh my god. That is like... I can't even describe it. There is no nice taste to that. That is really strong. I'm starting to think the other one we tried was nicer.
So they can actually only produce grog between January the 1st and I believe around June or July. If they do it out of these times, it is illegal because the quality drops. So at the moment you can't actually see the process going on, the pressing of the sugar cane, the distillation and everything in between, but we can drink it.
While the process of aging it,
That one's good.
37 degrees.
That's nice. Very similar to rakia, or maybe an orzo. No, very similar to a rakia. Good for digestion. Thank you.
You're welcome.
5 years in oak.
Yes.
Is this one nicer?
Cheers.
It's got a slightly nicer taste.
It's very heavy.
Is it more like a syrup?
Like a
Liqueur.
syrup.
A liqueur.
Yeah. No, the liqueur is...
Thank you.
It's very syrupy.
Yes, it is.
Whoa, that is thick.
Okay,
It's like a honey.
so this one's going to be nicer.
Anyone? So we're letting the whole...
Have I got any out yet? Okay, yeah. It's very much honeyfied. That's really nice. It takes away the burn.
No. I stop now.
I didn't know we'd end up trying 6. Mango. Yeah. That's mango. Coffee.
Good taste.
Obrigado. We are fueled up on grog. And I'll definitely say the coffee was the best, but we're just taking the new coastal road back to the ship and we saw this lighthouse in the distance over the Mars-like cliffs. Wow! luckily the lighthouse man was in, so we could enjoy these views of the coastline.
This is so cool. Yeah, luckily the guard was just sat outside and he had the keys and he let us in, and now we're on top of Sa Nicola.
Obrigado, my friend. Thank you. So it turns out there is actually an outdoor spot of the lighthouse. It's still operating today. It's over 100 years old, and you can see behind me the new road that we're taking. Honestly, you can see why they call this the most beautiful island. It has so many different incredible landscapes, and I feel like we're going to be able to stand up here, take in sunset, and then take the rest of this coastal road back to the boat before we set sail to the party capital of Cape Verde, Mindelo. Good morning and welcome to our 6th and final island on this island hopping adventure of Cape Verde, Sa Vicente, and today we are going to be exploring the capital, Mindelo, the capital for culture, for all the best music that this country has to offer. We actually had a very short sail of about 1 hour yesterday evening. We got to enjoy it with the blooming captain.
Street art in Cape Verde is absolutely everywhere, but this is particularly special. This is Sa Nicola, and she is the most famous musician to have come from the country, and she actually came from Sa Vicente, Mindelo, so all around the city you are going to find her face and her picture everywhere.
So much like in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, once a year in February, the island of Sa Vicente has its own carnival. And here on the main street, the most colourful street on the entire island, is where there will just be hordes and hordes of people dressed up in their different outfits and drinking an abnormally amount of grog. It's something that we've got to come back for in the future.
We have just come into the main market on the main street, and it actually has the best view of the road and all of the buildings, and it's actually where during Carnival the judges will stand up here so they can get the best view of all of the people walking down the street.
I wouldn't mind being a judge during the Carnival. I've heard that the ladies are pretty scantily clad. They are not wearing much clothing at all, so I can see why the judges come up here and admire the talent of Cape Verde.
And this is the main market, open all day. You can buy absolutely everything. You have handcrafts, you have traditional medicines, you've got your fruit, your vegetables, and this lady seems to have a lot of hand woven goods.
Hello.
Hello.
I like this one, Molly. How much is this one?
400.
400.
Yes.
Oh, it's
Would you do
beautiful.
for me 300?
No, 300. No.
No? Did you do this?
You make?
400. Yes, 500.
Oh, okay, the bigger is more.
Sí.
Okay.
400.
400.
Yeah, we do.
Because you have such a nice smile.
Potre?
Only English.
Only English.
So,
Un.
Just
One.
the one.
Obrigado.
These are so cool. These are like tiny little baskets. We've collected them in other places, but you can use them for lots of different things. Rice, salt. We have them on the wall. The market also shows some local handcrafts, which I wasn't expecting. So this gentleman has these, I'm not sure what it comes from. They're like weaving them, but you can see he's cutting them down, and then you get the end product of bags and also
For your
bottle
grog?
holders for your grog. I didn't know that this was even a thing. If they had anything smaller, like small size, we would definitely get it. But it's so cool to be able to watch that.
Cheers.
Cheers! I think we may have found our favourite island. This is completely different. The people give me different vibes, the city gives off different vibes, it feels very European, and they just do things slightly different. There seems
very
to be
efficient.
Very efficient, and there seems to be sort of a better tourist infrastructure, similar to Sal and Santa Maria, but as you can see, we are currently sat on a floating bar. This is called Mindelo Marina Bar, obviously, and we're currently just overlooking all of the fancy yachts and the backdrops and being again on water. Not like we haven't been on the sea this whole week, but we couldn't stop. Cheers.
Oh, that is so good. I think after exploring the other northwesterly islands of Cape Verde, Sa Nicola, Santa Antao, with a lack of tourism infrastructure, I think I was thinking the same for here, San Vicente, but we're sat on this fancy floating bar. I'm looking at a 5-star boutique hotel, and there's actually hotels all around the marina and the city, and I think just over there, the other side of the fortress on the hill, is actually the city beach, which is meant to be nice. So hopefully either later today or tomorrow morning we can finally have a swim. We've been here a week now and I still haven't swam.
Would highly recommend the Mindelo floating bar. It came to about £4 English for the 2 beers, sat there with an amazing view. So yeah, would highly recommend it. And now we have come into
Casa Cafe Mindelo.
It's really right opposite the floating bar, but we came in here because it's in an old colonial building. It's on the square, you can people watch, but they also offer chuta, which is the national dish. So lots of places do it differently, but essentially it's like beans, sweet potato, vegetables. You can have it with chorizo, fish, and it always comes with an egg. So here goes.
Our second time trying it.
Really nice. The eggs are so good, everything is fresh, and you have to try it because it's international.
I think we've actually got the breakfast version with egg, chorizo, sausage, and pretty much everything in between. The lady actually said this was the small portion, but it's good. And for a place like this, right in the city centre, with the marina just opposite, was only 500 escudos, so probably around £400. Cachupa really is the perfect dish, whether you want it for breakfast, lunch, dinner. You've got kidney beans, you've got all types of local vegetables, you've got your chorizo, you've got your sausage. But this afternoon we are now heading on a small little island tour to show you the rest of Sa Vicente. It is one of the smaller islands in Cape Verde, and we have come up to Monte Verde, 750 meters above the city below Mindelo. This is actually the highest point on the island, and again we are back to the true Cape Verdean style of being very dry, very barren, very arid, but the views of the bay below, pretty incredible.
It is so nice to actually have some visibility and be able to come to these viewpoints and see what we are looking at. Behind me you'll be able to see the beautiful coastline that this island has, but it's not actually that developed. The main part of town is Mindelo. There isn't anything else other than that. It's all really flat, but you can also see St. Lucia, which is one of the uninhabited islands of Cape Verde.
This one here, that is the 10th and final island that you can't go to.
We can't go to it.
Oh, I feel like we're trying to fit in as many strellas before we leave Cape Verde, but we actually just went on a little tour to the highest point of the island, and we have made it back down to La Beach, which is the city's main beach, but possibly the best beach on the entire island. For sunset, we've come into the beach club that is on said beach, and it has amazing views. You've got the old fortress prison overlooking it on the hills above, and the water, even though it is just starting to get a little dark, look at that, absolutely stunning. I said I would, and I will. Tomorrow morning, before we set sail, I am coming down here, and I am having a swim. Good morning. It is a stunning morning here in Sa Vicente. And last night I told you that we were going to get up bright and early and go for a swim. And going for a swim is what we're going to do. Last night we actually came back to the Harmony G and enjoyed the captain's dinner with a barbecue.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers! Cheers!
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone!
Eu sempre estou cantor, caçador de poemas, o pescador de inspiração. É a vida, te amo mais.
And some live music from the cultural capital of Cape Verde, Mindelo. You cannot come to this island and not listen to some of the music. Variety really did go above and beyond, but it's our last full day on board. It is 9:37 in the morning, so we've got to run to the beach and make it back before we head on our journey back to Sa.
Honestly, last night was lovely. It was the first time we were able to sit outside and have a meal. We've had extremely strong winds, high waves, rough sea, and last night we got to sit outside. The weather was lovely, the food was good, we had a barbecue and the live music. It was just nice all round, a really nice touch. And today, because the weather is a bit nicer, the sea is calm.
There is no red flag. We've had a red flag at every beach.
No red flag. It looks like we'll actually be able to get in the sea finally.
The time has come. After 9 days on the islands of Cape Verde, we are finally... It's deep. It's deep. We are finally in the sea. Oh, and it feels so blooming good. What a way to end our week-long adventure. Island hopping, 6 incredible islands, from volcanoes, lush green valleys, deserted barren islands, and everything in between, while taking in the culture and the diversity of these islands. It has been incredible, and it wouldn't have been possible without variety and sailing on the Harmony G. There aren't many cruises at all in the world, if any, that offer an island hopping trip around the islands of Cape Verde, and we have been able to do it. But we really do need to get back onto the Harmony G, because we have a 20-hour sail back to Sa, where we will catch our flight back to the UK to sort of enjoy Christmas. And by the time you're seeing this, we're probably going to be in Kathmandu, so we'll see you in the next one.